Before he was Robert J. Oppenheimer, and before he was Peaky Blinders, he was a guy with a really bad Ashton Kutcher haircut. And before she was even Regina George, Rachel McAdams has been a badass. Let me explain. It was that time once again where I choose a random movie off of YouTube's free movie list and I don't read the description. Today was the movie Red Eye, written and directed by Wes Craven. You know, Wes Craven, the guy who made Scream and the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. That Wes Craven. He did something else. People Under the Stairs? I don't remember. Anyway, I went in thinking I was going to get an airplane disaster film. I, in fact, did not get an airplane disaster film. I got a customer service girl boss badass flick, and I love it. Let me tell you what happens. Rachel McAdams is a hotel manager. Her grandma died in Texas, and she's flying home from Texas from the funeral to Miami. Well, during her flight delay, she meets Cillian Murphy. And they're getting along really well at the airport, and then come to find out they're going to sit together on the plane. Well, as soon as the plane takes off, his whole mood shifts. And come to find out, he actually wants to assassinate a high-profile family that regularly stays at the hotel she manages. But in order for him to do that, they have to change the suite that the family would be staying in. So he thought the smartest way to accomplish that task was to basically take the hotel manager hostage. He tells her that if she doesn't get on the airplane phone, because an Airbus has airplane phones, and call the hotel and change the rooms, he was going to have his hired assassin kill her dad. So most of the movie is spent her trying to escape him and save her dad. And at first, for some odd reason, he just knocks her the fuck out. He headbutts her, and she is unconscious for 30 minutes. Which doesn't seem like a long time, but from Dallas to Miami is a 2-hour and 45-minute flight. So you figured the first 30 minutes of takeoff, he had to explain everything. And then she was unconscious for 30 minutes. That's an hour off of the 2-hour and 45-minute flight. And then she gets up, and she has to pee. Except she doesn't actually have to pee. She went in there and wrote his seat number and said he had a bomb. But he follows her into the bathroom a short while after that and just starts fucking wailing on her. And the little unaccompanied girl on the flight tells the flight attendant that he went into the bathroom with her. And instead of banging on the door telling him, hey, to get out, oh, this is fucking public sex and we're going to arrest you when you get on the ground, they just tell him it's not a motel room. Even though fighting doesn't always sound like fucking. But I digress. So we're probably like an hour and a half into a 2-hour and 45-minute flight by now. They sit back in their seats, and now she's got to make the phone call to the hotel, but it only lasts about 5 minutes because then they reach some hella turbulence. And the turbulence causes the phones to go out, so now she can't make the phone call, but that doesn't matter to him. He said if she can't make the phone call, her dad's just going to die. Which, like, okay, but if she can't make a phone call, neither can you to hit your assassin. But then we finally get to the dissension and she can make the phone call. And she does. And then it's a big deal to the security team that he's having to switch rooms. But this guy is like, well, if that manager said it's okay, then I trust her. And they do like a full security sweep. And if you think it's gonna end there, it don't. Because while he wasn't looking, she stole this little boy's Frankenstein pen. You know, like an ink pen. It's got a picture of Frankenstein on the end. And she stabs him in the Adam's apple. Yeet. She traked his ass and then took off running. Gets in her car, drives to her dad's house as the assassin is getting ready to go into his house and hits him with her car. Nonstop, no thinking about it, she hit him with her car. And then Cillian Murphy shows back up and he's got a newly fresh trachea tube there going, but he's got an ascot over it so he looks real fancy with his Ashton Kutcher hair. And she beats his ass with a lacrosse stick. Oh, and then some other assassins fire an RPG at the hotel. But the family lives. The end. And what's even better is you have, like, terrible customers sprinkled out through everywhere. So he's trying to, like, be very threatening. And then there's this one lady who's like, can you help me with my bag again? Because he can lift it. Another lady's coming out while he's in the middle of his threats. And she's like, I just want to tell you, thank you for this book you gave me. Like, I half expected him to kind of give up there in the middle and been like, this is exhausting. This is a solid 9.5 out of 10 for me, and the only reason I'm taking the 0.5 off is because that seems like a lot of things to do on a 2-hour and 45-minute flight, especially when that 2-hour and 45-minute flight has turbulence. Okay, bye. I'm a survivor, I'm gonna make it. I'm a survivor, keep on surviving.